taught you to hate the color of your skin? Who taught you to hate the texture of your hair? Who taught you to hate the shape of your nose and the shape of your lips? Who taught you to hate yourself from the top of your head to the soles of your feet? Who taught you to hate your own kind? Who taught you to hate the race that you belong to? So much so that you don't want to be around each other. No, before you come asking Mr. Muhammad, does he teach hate? You should ask yourself, who taught you to hate being what God gave you?
Most of us blacks, or Negroes as he called us, really thought we were free without being aware that in our subconscious, all those chains we thought had been struck off were still there. And there were many ways where what really motivated us was our desire to be loved by the white man. Malcolm meant to lance that sense of inferiority. He knew it would be painful. He knew that people could kill you because of it, but he dared to take that risk.
He was saying something over and above that of any other leader of that day, while the other leaders were begging for entry into the house of their oppressor. He was telling you to build your own house.
A big hearing on Capitol Hill will raise the issue of reparations for slavery. This on Juneteenth, the day commemorating the end of slavery in the U.S. Chief Congressional Correspondent Mary Bruce is there covering it all. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Robin. Well, as the nation commemorates the end of slavery, The Hill today will be examining this question of reparations. Actor Danny Glover and author Ta-Nehisi Coates will be here to testify on the issue and the lasting impacts of slavery. Reparations are an issue that have come up recently on the Democratic campaign trail. But here on the Hill, the Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell made clear yesterday that he does not think reparations are a good idea. And he raised some eyebrows with this explanation referencing President Obama. Take a listen.
We've tried to deal with our original sin of slavery by fighting a civil war, by passing landmark civil rights legislation. We've elected an African-American president.
Mitch McConnell went on to reference the fact that no one currently alive was responsible for slavery, and he said it would be hard to determine who exactly to pay reparations to. Robin.
His statement raised a lot of eyebrows, to say the least. And Mary, also today, House Democrats are hoping to have a breakthrough when it comes to obstruction of justice.
Hoo-de-hoo. Hoo-de-hoo. Sorry for the delay. We are back at it, people. Welcome to the No PC show. Was running late because, as we all know, I have a business, RPC Computing, located in Chicago, Illinois, 1741 East 71st Street, right off 71st and Ridgeland, 773-966-4457. For all your computing needs, and we also have print services available. So if you need flyers and things of that nature, we can help you out. Now that we got that out the way, hey, to the people on the Facebook side, there is a link out there that you can click on and come over to the YouTube side and join us. Click that subscribe button, click that like button, click that notification button. Click those three and join us. We want this to be a more interactive call-in type of show. So tonight's show is going to be called Who Are We Looking For Validation? What's up, cuz? I see you out there. And that's a question we need to ask after the clip I just showed at the beginning of the show. What's up, Will? Click that link, come over to the YouTube side. You can see the videos that we post. Mitch McConnell got his butt on TV, but, why are we surprised by any words that come out of anybody's mouth that hang with Donald Trump? But just like Bernie Sanders, for all you Bernie supporters, Mitch McConnell said, Well, we feel we've done enough as far as with the reparations. We fought a civil war. We elected a black African American president, and we want to fight that and dispute a little bit. They did not fight a war to end slavery. It was about the money and the financial distribution of money in America, and the division between the North and the South. So it was a political thing, because remember, your president said, Abe Lincoln, if I could unify the country without ending slavery, I would do that. This is your man, Abe Lincoln, and we got to talk about him, because yesterday was Juneteenth. And I'm sure all the Negroes went out and had a happy dance, and Congress decided to at least let's address this H.R. 40 bill that's been on the table for the last 20 years. Let's actually help the Negroes, since this is the 400th anniversary of us destroying them and bringing them to America and destroying their culture and livelihood. Let's act like we give a damn. So that's what they do. And they have a couple of stars, Danny Glover and some other people, and everybody's speaking. And they're acting like, sorry about that, I went to adjust my mic. And they're acting like, you know what, we've done enough. How come you Negroes have not advanced yourself? Look at all the other people came over and advanced themselves. We're just going to, hey, that Jim Crow thing, that was a little, but you got opportunities. You had a African-American president, but that African-American president did not experience the African-American life as most of us experienced it. His mother was white. His father was an African. Hence, he was an African-American. I don't identify myself as an African-American. I identify myself as a black man in America. Not going to accept that American tag until America makes some reparations. So you had a president that was selected by white folks, directed by white folks, and played the game like white folks to get stuff done for white folks. I was having a discussion with a customer today about that. And I said that he didn't do anything for black people. And she said, what about the housing crisis? And I like, psh, he bailed out the banks and the auto industry. But over 65% of black people lost their homes, while 80% of white people were able to keep their homes. And you had to be in a dire situation. I know personally, because I did not qualify for any of that stuff. Because, hey, you still got a job, nigga. You still making money. You still bringing home checks. You don't qualify. That property is going to be gone. But I was listening to Mitch McConnell and listening to all these different shows as I always do. And it came to me that a lot of the stuff we go through in America is because we are seeking validation from white people. So our existence is about going to work for them and then showing them, well, we're different from the other Negroes that sell drugs and do this and do this and do this. We're special Negroes. Congratulations. How DJ Khaled say? Congratulations, we played ourselves. These people work by a different set of rules. Wu-Tang had a song called Cream. Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, y'all. Our validation is we turn to God for our validation. They turn to money for their validation. So their homes, their ability to take care of their kids, everything they do is systematically designed for you to strive to be like them. I'm referencing a lot of songs tonight. What Kanye said in that one song, they make us love their wealth and hate ourselves. That's why Short in the club hollering where the ballers at. And I got a line in my poem, says self-destruction taught by the destructional teacher. We're on the field and they're in the bleachers. This system has been designed, and we were forced to believe in the system and look to the master for validation, and now we willingly do it. Looking at my notes here, I wrote a bunch of notes and I was trying to get out and I got busy, so I didn't get to put it all together the way I want to. I had a definition for validation. Validation is the recognition or affirmation that a person or their feelings or opinions are valid or worthwhile. Who do we look for validation from? First, when you're a kid, you look for that validation from your parents, your mother, your father, and then it may be siblings. This is how your structure is designed in life. You're looking for validation. And it's usually through your mother that you learn about God being the supreme being. God is the creator. God is wisdom. God is power. God is beauty. Then I started thinking, I said, do women only value a man if he honors God? Like there's a lot of people, and this is no religious question. There's a lot of good people that don't go to church, but the man takes care of his family. He makes sure the bills are paid. He makes sure the kids are taken care of. He makes sure the house is taken care of. But he doesn't honor God. Is he seeking validation from his wife or girlfriend? Or does he care about the validation that comes? Sometimes that validation is a two-edged sword. I can't remember. Well, I probably wanted my grandmother's validation of who I was becoming, and after that, I can't see too much of where I thought about the validation of others as far as how I was trying to live my life and the direction I saw my life going into. But a lot of times, the validation is going to decide whether you go the right way or the wrong way. Somebody made a statement. They said, validation is made wicked by the environment. Such as we validate things in our community, such as drug dealing, shooting, killing, whoever can come up through the ranks of the ghetto or the hood and establish themselves as a power force, meaning they are over a few people, they're feeding a few people, but they're doing it on the backs of other downtrodden black people. They're validated for being a hood success. They are validated for becoming a leader in a gang. These become wrong validations. Well, we got to do what we got to do. A lot of people are in situations that they wish they wouldn't be in, and they wouldn't wish those same situations for their children. I wrote another line here. Usually I have this stuff on the screen, but like I said, I was running. It was about a statement about timelessness. And I said, God is timeless, love is timeless, understanding is timeless, and knowledge and wisdom are timeless. Time is one of those assets that you can't get back. And a lot of times when it comes to dealing with our government and the way they approach dealing with black people, it's always, wait, hold on, let's discuss this. Be patient. These are all the tactics that have left us in the condition that we are in. And sometimes I talk about a mind shift. There was a scene in Malcolm X called the slave mind. And in the slave mind, when you have the slave mind, it is hard for you to break away from what you were taught by your mother or your grandmother, the conditioning that put you in church and validated you as a man. And like I said, I'm not saying against church. I love my church. I love my pastor. I go. I love all that. But sometimes there are hindrances in church that don't allow you to speak freely. You're not supposed to focus on anything but God. But these people, they go to church and they pray the same way we pray. But obviously they are operating under a different guise of God, because they can still come to work and overlook you, not give you that validation because they know that's what you want. And they're not happy unless you're tap dancing and okay, boss, I did the extra work you said. Can I get the promotion? Well, nigga Rick, I think you can't get one right now because this good white man over here, he needs it. I'm valuing him. Not going to validate you. Not going to validate you, Valerie. Becky, Susan, no validation for you. But as I was discussing with this client today, they get you when, and we discussed this before on the show. Oh, you want to be like us? Okay, let's set it up. You want a house like us? Okay, go on get your house. Go on get your car. Go ahead, put your kids in these schools. And what they don't tell you is we pay higher rates for all that, even if we got better credit. You're gonna pay higher on your credit card, your mortgage, your car payment. And a lot of times they are giving stuff from their inheritance. Which Mitch McConnell's like, well, none of us were alive at that time. But Mitch McConnell won't say, well, how did y'all get that property? How did y'all get these businesses? Where did all this money come from down the line that you don't want to pay nothing for black people? And we've let this HR 40 thing go on long enough. Now, I wouldn't be shocked if Donald Trump came out and said, oh, maybe we couldn't get some reparations. I mean, we done made all the money. Maybe we'll give these niggas something. The person in my store today said, well, you can do this and you can do this. No. An opportunity to take out a student loan is not an opportunity for African Americans. Why are we paying for education after being denied it for over 300 years? Why are we paying all these substantial home, high-rate loans when they use redlining and other methods to keep us from living in certain areas, taking advantage of certain benefits? And another thing on this education part, and if you grew up in the 60s and 70s like me and we were in school with all these old books, while they had tons and tons of new books in warehouses, and to this day, at certain schools, there are still tons of books in warehouses new books, while if your child is in a public school, they may be using an out-of-date history book, math book. You know, I feel my job in the world is to bring things to light that you might not have thought of. You know, even if it sounds crazy, it's, you know, when you get to the point of, and I can call it frustration, but I'm going to call it realization. When your third eye, your mind eye opens up, and you begin to respect your mind and your body, and you're thinking of the future of your children, and how they're going to live in the world. Hey, Brandon, you really got to start thinking in a different manner. We never thought we'd see a black president, so we were all happy because somehow this black president, we all felt validated as black people in America. And we were all cheering and happy and, oh, we got a black president and some things going to change in America and it's going to be great. Worst 8 years of my life. The undertone in corporate America, the amount of blacks that were losing their jobs and whites being shuffled around into positions was nauseating. Worst time of my life, the 8 years that President Obama was in office. But Mitch McConnell said, look, we gave y'all an African-American president. What you niggas want? We figure we have done enough where it's all fair now. We're not going to talk about the Jim Crow era. No, you know, we killed a bunch of niggas, hung them, and we took property, and, you know, that's all in the past. No one went to jail. Why would good white folks go to jail when during the Depression we were starving and black people had their own towns across America, not just in Tulsa. That's what everybody wants to do, but go look up the 1920s in America and the race riots. I don't know what they call them race riots because white people were just pillaging because they had no money. And black people were self-contained and spending money among ourselves and dealing with ourselves. At that time, the black money stayed in the community almost 27 days before it went outside of the community. How dare these niggas be together and do something separate from us? We didn't validate them to do that. How are they doing things outside of what we have allowed them to do? This makes no sense at all. I'm trying to see why nobody's name is showing up in the list today, but I see the numbers. So we'll just let it stay there. But this was the thing. You got all this pillaging and stuff going through. Brother Khalid, what's up? You got all this stuff going on in the 1920s in America. Pillaging. From one coast to the other coast. Race riots. There really weren't race riots. They were fighting against black people that didn't go off to the war. A lot of white people went off to the war, came back. Black people had stepped into some job positions. Oh, no, you niggas got to go. We going to beat y'all down, take these jobs back. You ain't going to do this. Oh, you ain't spending money with us. You're spending money with yourself. Let's burn down these stores. Oh, you got your house. Let's burn down these towns. Let's take all your money and stuff first. Then let's burn you down. And then you come on back to us, and we going to validate you as good niggas. Because that's all America owes you. It's a good nigga validation. Now, as I talked to this person in my store today, I said, I know a ton of successful black individual people. It's not the individual success that they fear. They know a lot of times you're individually successful. It's because you worked with us, you worked along with us, and you played the game Oprah. And now we can hold you up as a symbol of what life should be for you. Because we educating your children. So our psychology gets put in your child's mind, and then your child becomes dependent on our validation also. He comes to corporate America and he works here, and we tell him, these are your dancing shoes. Learn to not look behind the curtain, as the Wizard of Oz says. Don't look behind the curtain. There's nothing to see here. Remain blind to the fact that until you start validating yourself, having a self-knowledge, a self mindset of who you are. And that's one of the biggest things. Like I say all the time, from a cultural standpoint, we have no idea who we are. Like I said, I got African friends, and it just tore my heart apart when I started hanging out with them, and a lot of black people figure they don't like black people. And it's not that they don't like black people. They live a different cultural lifestyle than what we do in America. I know you see everything on TV in Africa is just jacked up, but it's jacked up like that because of outside influences also. But they're required to get 2 degrees. They're required to respect their parents and their community and to give back. We don't do none of that. We barely can get a high school degree. We don't give a damn about our old people. We don't give a damn about our community. And we live among the other people to escape which we come from. A lot of us come from bad neighborhoods and things like that. And you can't blame a woman who has children, wants to get her kids out of that environment. Because let's be truthful, a lot of the fathers aren't there to validate their children, to raise their children. But it's all by design. I was reading an article today about the government cheese program. And around the same time the government cheese program was out, there was another program, aid, which said, we must now remove the black man from the home because he is doing something that we are trying to destroy. He is validating the family structure and the importance of the family structure in the home. He is not allowing the chaos to go on, and he's an important part of the family. So we got to get him out of here. We're going to give him some cheese, get a lady some money, a little powdered milk, little school lunch for the kids. And we may even get her a job. She done teamed up with the white women. The white women want their little rights. You know, they want to be validated by the white man. And how can we do this? Let's get the sisters in. Come on, let's fight against these men. The same white man that she was going home to every night. The same white man that was already making the money and providing her with a home. She wasn't trying to kick the white man out. She was just trying to get him to share a little bit more. That was her validation. The black women, not to knock y'all, it became, well, I'm taking care of the family. It's just hard on this brother. He can't do it. He can't do it. He can't make it. So I got to step up. And then the money became part of her validation. And then she started acting different toward the black man. Started trying to convince him, you know, if you just go along with the system, we can have a beautiful life. Drop your pride. Forget the blackness. Let this white man validate you as a nigga in this society. It's too late for us. Let's try to do something for our kids. Let our kids our sacrifice becomes what our kids are able to do. And all our kids now are being assimilated because they're being validated by the others in society. You don't validate black history. Get that out of here. There's no black history. We're all one now. We're all together. Forget all that. But every group that tells you that is benefiting. The Hispanics in Chicago benefit from Mike Madigan. They line up with Mike Madigan. And most of them, when they come here from Mexico, they line up with the people with the power. That's their validation. Hey, this man has power. He can help us, and we're going to go ahead and pretend there's a black-brown coalition, but there's not. Yeah, and we all got Hispanic friends. What's that got to do with it? What's your Chinese friend, your Hispanic friend? What's your Asian friend? What's any of that got to do with the validation of black people in America? Let's call that reparations some validation. But you'll have those saying, well, we've survived and we've moved on, and we don't really need that reparations. No. See, you're thinking individually. We got a whole group of problems, a whole mess of problems that could be taken care of through reparations. Like I say, student loan forgiveness, money for school, as much school as you want to take, money for businesses, training. I don't want anybody to really get a check in their hand unless you're an already retired person. If you're already retired and no longer working and you've worked your whole life, yeah, I'm going to need you to get some money. You can still get your Medicare and your Medicaid B and all that type of stuff. But let's say you're 63 or 67, let's say 67, and you done worked your life, you done put your time in at the office. I think you need $500,000 to enjoy the rest of your life. That's where I'm putting it at. If you got $200,000, up to $200,000 worth of loans, I think your $200,000 worth of loans should be forgiven. That's just my thoughts on reparations. I think if you want to start a business or you want to go to school, I think you should freely, by your government, be given up to $200,000 in education. $200,000 free. I think there should be a tax program, a black tax in America to cover this. And black folks don't have to pay into the black tax. Everybody else does. Well, this would be too unfair. This would actually make things even for you, and you would be able to be validated. Hey, Cal, I see you've been listening. This, if I'm looking for some validation from white people, this is the validation I'm looking for. I'm looking for a validation check that puts me and my children on a pathway to building our own foundation in this country. But they know what's going to happen if we do this for black people. They not going to mess with us no more. They going to build their own communities. They're going to do all that stuff. Hey, T. Yep, that's what it's about, helping those that can't help themselves. They know, given the opportunity, we will defect from these people. We'll build our own towns. We'll do our own thing. And most people know you're only working for these people because you don't see any other way of taking care of your family. If an opportunity came to work for maybe some black people, most blacks would probably jump at it, even though we know some black people can be assholes too. But that'd be our type of assholes. Same in the educational process of HBCUs are very important because there's certain things that a lot of people don't understand about predominantly white institutions and the people that run it that will screw your kid over because they're upset about different things and feel like black people are already getting enough. Just like they busted these 100 and some cops in Pennsylvania. They busted them on social media. Right now, all this racist crap all up and down. So they had to suspend 100 and some officers. Racism runs throughout the veins of this country, from the lowest level to the highest level. So let's stop expecting any type of validation from them. Let's stop accepting any type of validation. I don't want your approval on what I do. Because your approval has now gotten to the point for me, it means nothing. If I had to see black people being killed, black people being sent to jail, black people being destroyed by your system, why do I need that type of validation? We live in a world of cognitive dissonance, and a lot of the stuff is now starting to fall on us, and we're scared for our children because we hide the reality from what's really going on in this world from them, and we allow them to integrate into a sick society. One of my favorite movies, and I'm in the show with this, I don't know if anybody wanted to call in these last few minutes, 872-267-2552 is the number, 872-267-2552, right here on the screen. If you got a show idea, you can hit us at theshow1965@yahoo.com. There's a old movie, The Devil's Advocate. And there's a scene at the end, Pacino is the devil. And now all this revelation is coming to the other character. And him as the devil, he's letting him know, no, I didn't do none of that to you. You did that to yourself. Your vanity, which is his favorite sin, is what has caused your downfall. Needing to be validated by his peers, allowed his wife to be destroyed, allowed his life to be manipulated by the devil. And then the devil stands back and laughs like they laugh at us. And we wonder what's happening. We still think that everything we do to be successful in them has to be validated by them. And it doesn't. In the Willie Lynch letter, there's a thing that says, in order to undo and change everything that has been done to the black man in America, there would have to be a paradigm switch of such magnitude and thought patterns that it would almost destroy the person mentally who tries to do it. Seek validation in your heart, in your mind, and with God, and you'll be okay. Love, peace. So, we out of here.
Who are you? Never lost a case. Why? Why do you think? Because you're so fucking good. Yeah? But why?
Because you're my father.
I'm a little more than that, Kevin. Awfully hot in that courtroom, wasn't it? What's the game plan, Kevin? Was a nice run, Kev. Had to close out someday. Nobody wins them all.
What are you?
Oh, I have so many names. See, call me Dad.
Marianne, she knew it. She knew it. She knew it, so you destroyed her.
You blaming me for Marianne? Oh, I hope you're kidding. Marianne, you could have saved her anytime you liked. All she wanted was love. Hey, you were too busy.
That's a lie.
Marianne in New York? Face it, you started looking to better deal her the minute you got here.
That's not true. You don't know what we had. You don't know anything about it.
Hey, I'm on your side.
You're a liar!
No, hey, Kevin, there's nothing out there for you. Don't be such a fucking chump. Stop deluding yourself. I told you to take care of your wife. What did I say? The world would understand. Didn't I say that? What did you do?
You know what scares me, John? I leave the case, she gets better, and then I hate her for it.
Remember?
I know what you did. You set me up.
Who told you to pull out all the stops on Mr. Geddes? Who made that choice?
It's entrapment. You set me up.
And Moyes, the direction you took. Popes, swamis, snake handlers, all feeding at the same trough. Whose ideas were those?
You played me! It was a test, your test!
And Colin, knowing he was guilty, seeing those pictures, what did you do? You put that lying bitch on the stand.
You brought me in, you put me there! You made her lie!
I don't do that, Kevin. That day on the subway, what did I say to you? What were my words to you? Maybe it was your time to lose. You didn't think so.
Lose? I don't lose! I win! I win! I'm a lawyer! That's my job! That's what I do!
I rest my case. Vanity is definitely my favorite sin. Kevin, it's so basic. Self-love, the all-natural opiate. You know, it's not that you didn't care for Marianne, Kevin. It's just that you were a little bit more involved with someone else. Yourself.
Step out of the car.
No, you don't have the right.
Step out of the car.
Do not have the right to do that.
I do have the right. Now step out or I will remove
I
you.
refuse to talk to you other than to identify myself.
Step
If your woman ain't no revolutionary, she'll persuade you to be a fucking slave for the rest of your days. She'll be grooming you on how to behave, teaching you how to coon and buck dance so that you can be safe. If that brother ain't no rider, soldier, no provider, molder of young mind, check it out. You got yourself a bitch. Think about the time that you invested in him. If he's wearing them skinny jeans, you a lesbian. For every 100 black women who ain't locked up, it's only 83 black men remain. Take away 1.5 million black men who might have benefited their women and their children. You don't know a war when it's waged against you, when it makes you drive your baby mama to the clinic just to kill your own. Ain't no legacy to leave behind, cause ain't nobody sitting on your throne. You motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Sandra Bland was a rider. She wouldn't have committed suicide. You a motherfucking liar. It would not be wise to stop when you hear sirens and you see the police behind you, but you don't wanna die. They gon' shoot you if you run. They gon' say that you was going for the police gun. That's why they shot you like 120 times, but you was still coming, so they put another bullet in your lung. Them devils got you praying while they murder, because they know you on that bullshit. They steady with them full clips and body armor. They kill your women in the street, cause they figure you too weak to do anything about it. You some shit, getting fucked in your sleep. They poison you every time you brush your teeth. You don't care, you behave like a slave. A bitch from the cradle to the grave, on your knees with your hands out, begging cause you want to be motherfuckers are asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't stop, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, you asleep in a war zone, living a nightmare, dying in your own home. If you don't fight, you gon' lose what you got left. I'd rather die trying to fight for my last breath. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Fuck that. Freedom or death, nigga.
If you just listen.
Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga. Freedom or death, nigga.
You were getting a warning. Until now, you're going to jail.
I'm getting it for what?